Welcome, Radiant Health and Wellness community. This is Dr. Beata, and now we're going to go into the third component of gut health, the missing component that you likely haven't heard of. If you haven't seen the first two components, go ahead and click the link below to sign up for all of the series, and you will get that in your email. Go ahead and check your inbox and your spam when you do sign up. And today we're going to jump into the third missing component, which is emotional energetics. And what this is, when we think about emotions, so we may have many different emotions throughout the day. Some of them we may believe to be negative or uncomfortable to experience, and others are more positive, we like to think of them, or comfortable to experience. So when we think of comfortable emotions, we think of happiness and joy and peace and calm. And sometimes when we think of those more uncomfortable emotions, we may be thinking of anger or sadness, frustration, irritation, etc. So one of the things that may happen, and that does happen, is that some of these uncomfortable emotions we have been programmed, we have been raised to, again, want to avoid. And when they do come up for us, we tend to repress them or suppress them. We may ignore them. And what ends up happening is that these emotions can literally live in our body, and they can affect our health, our wellness, our vitality, and our gut health specifically. And I'll go a little bit more into why in a moment. And let's get back to these emotions. So a healthy way of experiencing these emotions, because all of our emotions are good, and even when we are feeling anger or sadness or frustration or jealousy or any of those emotions, this practice, what it does is it allows us to create space for these emotions, to really acknowledge them and listen to them. And through this, we give them the space and we get the message that they are sending to us, because all of our emotions are here for a reason. They're just communicating to us about various aspects, various things that we may not be conscious of. So whatever emotion is coming up for you, I encourage you and I invite you to give it space and try not to repress it, try not to suppress it. Also, try not to judge yourself about it, because there's really no good or bad emotions. They're all good. And it's when we get the message that they're trying to deliver to us that then we can integrate them, we can allow them to flow through our body and work through, because we all experience so many emotions on a daily basis. And what ends up happening is when we resist them, when we repress them, they actually can become trapped in our body as an energetic signature. And when we look at Eastern medicine, for example, ancient Chinese medicine, they speak of qi, or the flow of energy. So these emotions that become trapped in our body essentially become stagnating areas of energy. The stagnant energy creates a block, and therefore disease can come from that. So I would say that all of us have certain areas of trapped emotions. Many of these are from childhood. We may not even be old enough to remember some of these. And so when we feel certain triggers, certain things may trigger us. So maybe we go through an experience and we end up reacting much more than the actual experience may call for. And again, this isn't a place for judgment. It's acknowledging that that is likely a trapped emotion that hasn't been processed yet, that is still in our emotional field, in our energetic field, and that has not been allowed to move through. And when we start talking about gut health and how this connects to these emotions, I invite you to look into the gut-brain axis. So there is plenty of research out on this, and essentially it is a connection between our gut and our brain, our mental state, like we talked about in step 2, or missing component number 2, but also our emotional state. And when we start looking at that, the vagus nerve connects our brain to our organs, and especially into our gut. And it is a relationship that goes both ways. So when we are anxious, when we're depressed, when we have more of a negative experience, Therefore, that can affect our gut health. That affects our gut microbiome. That affects the health and wellness of our organs, of our energetic field, of our stagnant energies, of the flow of our energy. We want flow. That's the ultimate goal. And vice versa. So if we are not taking care of our physical body, if we are not eating a nutritious and nourishing diet, if we are not taking care of our gut health, then vice versa, that is affecting our mental state, our emotional state, creating more anxiety and depression. So the work that I do, and especially in this gut health course that I have offered, we look at both sides. We have to look at the emotional components, the mental components, our thoughts, beliefs, but also the emotions that we're experiencing on a daily basis, how we're processing them. Are we allowing them to flow through our bodies? Are we repressing them? Are we suppressing them? And at the same time, are we taking care of our gut health? Are we taking care of our gut microbiome? How are we nourishing our bodies? So that is really the third missing component, these emotional energetics, because you may be doing, again, all of the foods, you may be doing all of the supplements and probiotics. However, if we're not addressing your emotional energetics, if you have many trapped emotions that are creating this stagnant flow of energy, they're stagnating the flow of energy, then you will not experience vitality and radiant health and wellness. So I described it a little bit earlier, and in the example or the exercise that I'm going to give you for today, you are just going to take some time to be really mindful and present of whatever emotions may come up from you. And these may be, again, anger, shame, frustration, irritation, guilt, jealousy, feeling small or feeling wrong in any way, feeling judgmental, etc. And not judging yourself, just acknowledging whatever emotions are coming up from you, giving them space, and then allowing yourself to just listen. Listen to your body, listen to the emotion. What can it be communicating to you? What is the message it is trying to give you? Can you bless that emotion? Thank it for being here. Thank it for portraying this message for you. And then just surrendering into the fact that this emotion will move on when it is ready, when it feels that it has done the job that it's here to do, when it has given you the message that it is meant to give you. So that is the exercise that I leave you with today. I encourage you and I invite you to incorporate it into your daily practice. And it's something that I find myself doing now just as a habit without thinking about it. There's a specific technique that I will teach you in the gut health course. We're going to go step by step to do that. So I will show you how to do that, and you'll get a live example of what it feels like and the experience of going through that as well. And on the next video, we're going to go into the fourth missing component of radiant health, wellness, vitality, and gut health, which really is what gut health actually is and the components of gut health, because there's way more than just taking a probiotic or a supplement. And I am so excited to give you this information and give you something practical that you can practice and try at home. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out for a guidance call or a one-on-one consultation where we can give you customized and individualized care and start addressing your individual and unique root causes, and also identifying where to focus your work on. Because as you can see, there's many components to this, and what may be the component for one person is going to be different for another person. And there's so many aspects to that. So I encourage you to book a call if you feel called to do so. The links are right below. And together we will be able to guide you to focus on the aspects that are going to be the most important, the most transformative in your journey where you are right now. So as always, I wish you and your loved ones all the best, and I will see you in the next video.